And look, it is good to be here, live and direct from the third largest city in the United States, Chicago, Illinois. It's The Drive with Mario Smith. I am him. Welcome. It's Friday. We're calling it Frantic Friday because I was frantic for a few minutes trying to get everything set up here. How you doing? What's going on, everybody? Lots to talk about today on The Drive. There's breaking news coming out of the White House. President Biden and his talk with Xi Jinping. And both of them, it's like WWE now. Both of them are like making these weird threats to each other. And we'll talk about that in a second. My man Jay Gliss is in Portland, Oregon, a very patient brother. Hey, Jay Gliss, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Much better
other than frantic, yeah.
A little panic. It turns out I did it. It's my fault. Behind the curtain. So when for some reason, I don't know if my computer rebooted without me knowing about it, but it asked for permission to do something it's never asked permission to do. And I was like, no. So then nothing worked on my computer. So I had to go back and do everything over.
It's weird you say that because I had a really strange issue with my computer not this one that I run the show off of. This is a desktop, but my laptop is where I usually do the show rundown and all that stuff. And I clicked on one of the story about Brittany Griner that we'll talk about later in sports.
Yeah.
And my computer shut down. It just turned off. And it was really strange. I've never had anything like that happen. It's a Mac like yours. It's a couple years old. It's not like, some piece of junk or anything. It was It really kind of threw me off. It had me concerned for a moment because I was like, what just happened?
So let me just, again, more behind the curtain. Everybody will love this. So this is the other computer in case everything goes,
backup.
This is the backup, right? The backup isn't charged. So I'm like, okay, screw this one. I'll just go into the backup. I plug it in. That's the one when I was trying to talk to Hal, and it just was like, no.
Yeah.
So the backup wasn't working. And then I had to get real smart, real fast, and do some stuff, figure it out. Here you go. Here I am. Oh, boy. Well, happy Friday, and welcome. I'm glad that everyone is here. Today, I can't send you those pics of the drunk people because it's actually a story about the police scanner on St. Patrick's Day that has some pictures in it. And then when you try now to scroll Chicago St. Patrick's Day drunk people, no pictures of any value come up. And it was a mess apparently yesterday. What you do on St. Patrick's Day? Did you get out and get some green beer and celebrate and all that?
I kind of took it easy. I took your advice. I kind of took it easy. I didn't really do too much. I sometimes drive Lyft and Uber. I did that for a little while yesterday.
Wow.
Kind of before things got too crazy.
Yeah.
Which I figured out because I had to ride downtown and I was stuck in traffic for like 20 minutes and I was like, I'm not coming back this way. It's like, okay, it's started. I'm gonna go home now. But yeah, other than that, we just kind of had an easy. I had a few drinks. I had like a whiskey and ginger beer or two, but nothing crazy. Just.
Well, that's good on you. So I do my show yesterday, the radio show News from the Service Entrance. Thank you very much, everyone. 21 years. Thank you. And I'm done with the show. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to repeat any part of the last couple of weeks. I'm just going to go and sit because I have some business that I'm doing with the bar that's down the street. And I'm going to go make sure they know what's going to happen next weekend. And I'm leaving. I do that. I managed to have a couple of pops. As I'm leaving, it's starting to get a little bit more revved up. I'm like, whew, left at the right time. Went over to a friend's house later last night, and she's Irish, so everything was Irish music. So it was a lot of like Van Morrison. I came in on the U2 portion of St. Patrick's night, and they had corned beef and cabbage and soda bread, and she made a souffle that was really good.
Oh,
It
that
was
sounds nice.
really good. It was so good. In fact, I had one like spoon of it. I was like, I'm good, and came home and fell asleep. Oh, I did go over to try to catch some of Benny the Butcher, who was playing at my
Oh,
job, but I didn't
yeah.
get a chance to do that. That got to be too many people for me. I don't know what my problem is, but I came home. So it was a good night last night, though. All things considered, really good night. Uh, and I avoided all of the fake St. Patrick's Day stuff and got some real authentic. And the corned beef and cabbage was top notch. It was very good. I was quite happy.
There you
Quite
go.
happy.
I
Oh,
love corned beef and cabbage.
oh my goodness gracious! It had been so long. I'm like, yo, but if had it not been for you, I would not have known that corned beef and cabbage was some strictly American stuff. Okay? Hey, can you got the breaking news noise?
I do. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Apparently, even though the Browns said this is sports news, everybody, we're good. Nothing's happened yet. Calm down. Apparently, even though the Cleveland Browns earlier this week said that they were not in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, Deshaun Watson is going to the Cleveland Browns. This just in. Deshaun Watson is now a Cleveland Brown, which means Baker Mayfield is going to have to leave his house. He lives in the stadium. That's a mess. I don't know how much stuff he's got in that house of his, him and his wife.
That's a weird turn of events after it sounds like there was no interest on Watson's part, but I mean, this is being reported by Ian Rappaport and Tom Frisillo. So, I mean, those are two solid sources.
Absolutely.
And they're saying that he's going to get a 5-year, $230 million contract from Cleveland. So there you go.
Yeah. Now the Browns are going to try to trade Baker Mayfield. Watson has informed the Houston Texans that he is now willing to waive the no trade clause in his contract to be dealt to Cleveland. That's from Adam Schefter. Also from Adam Schefter, Browns and Texans still are finalizing official trade compensation for Deshaun Watson, but it's expected to include 3 first-round picks, a 3rd-round pick, and potentially a 5th-round pick. Houston's about to come up on picks. Whoa.
Yeah.
5 picks for Deshaun Watson. Browns are giving Deshaun Watson a new deal per sources. This is also from Adam Schefter of ESPN. The $184 million over the first 4 years of this contract is a $48 million raise over the $136 million he was scheduled to make over the same 4 years on the previous contract, a $12 million a year raise in that span. Amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And to think that the Texans traded up with the Browns in the 2017 draft to get Deshaun Watson. Wow. That's big.
That is. And I got to think that a 5-year contract with $230 million probably had something to do with swaying someone who already has a very uncertain future. Yeah, I mean, when you know, it's a little different when you get a commitment, especially given the situation that he's in. I got to think that had something to do with him being like, hey, you know what? That's going to set my future. All right.
Not much in Cleveland. I could always visit Chicago if I want to hang out. And I can get a plane or helicopter to take me to Chicago anytime I want. That is huge. That's as big a deal for the Browns as they've had in years. Deshaun Watson is an accomplished quarterback under a lot of scrutiny and legal trouble because he is still accused of, but not convicted, of sexually assaulting women. And if you're living in the Ohio area, like we talked about earlier this week, and you're a woman, I'm a little nervous if, you know, he's coming to my town. As a man, I'm telling all the women I know, if you see him, go in the opposite direction.
And in fact, I believe they ran a poll in the local paper, and I think it was 48% of the fan base did not want them to pursue Deshaun Watson. So We
That's
talked
gonna be
about that the other day. That's an interesting
Yeah.
dynamic. I mean, he's an amazing talent, but yeah, that's a lot of baggage she's bringing with him.
That's going to be interesting. We will talk more about it in sports for sure. Today is fake name day. I don't like the word fake. Ever since Donald Trump started going fake news, I hate that word. This is animal pronoun day, right?
Alias.
Alias day. That's better. And those aren't pronouns; those are adjectives. So Karen is here, and Wesley's here, and John is here, of course. But we have freezing buzzard in Georgia. Um, Rebel Rooster is in California. Descriptive Peacock has joined us. Smiling Crow. And Janine is here too. This is going to be good. So put in your alias name. If you're just joining the show, thank you for being here. Sorry we were a little bit late. You can catch the Backchannel.tv lineup. It begins at 6 a.m. Eastern time with Haley and Allison from the UK. And then at 8, it's Liv Harrison. After that, at 10 a.m. Eastern, it's Jam and Renee. Our friends Jam and Renee. And then at noon Eastern time, it's Anthony Davis. And then at 2 p.m., your pal Hal, who I missed it yesterday, kind of. I saw he was Batman, or not him, but Batman was on again, which is great. So shout out to Travis. Sorry about that, brother, earlier. And shout out to my man Hal. We tried to make it happen, but it's happening now. So the other piece of breaking news is that President Biden, in a discussion with Xi Jinping, the president of China, said that there would be consequences to China if they try to help Russia in the war of the Ukraine. Russia broadened its, and this is from the New York Times, Russia broadened its offensive with a missile attack in Lviv, where Ukrainians had sought safety from the war, and in the hard-hit Mariupol, 130 people were rescued from a theater nearly flattened in a Russian attack, but hundreds were still feared trapped. There's no word on what exactly the consequences would be if China gets in the war. President Xi Jinping also said if the U.S. tries to get involved with Taiwan, that there would be consequences. So it's a bit of a WWE ladder match taking place between the two presidents of those countries. Let's take a break. We come back and we'll do all the around the world stuff in a second. It's The Drive with Mario Smith and my man Jake Bliss in Portland, Oregon. And we'll be back right after these words. Hey, everybody, it's The Drive with Mario Smith. I'm Mario Smith. Oh, go figure, right? We are a little compressed on time today, but we're going to do everything we can to entertain and all that stuff. Jimmy, thank you for joining us here in Florida. We appreciate it. I want to encourage everybody that's on backchannel.tv to leave a review of the show. Leave a review of the show. And when you watch any of our shows on Backchannel, leave a review. And trust me, it's all good. We want you to do that. And the fact that you guys can talk to us anytime you want, we will definitely talk back to you. But please leave a review of our shows. It is a cool thing to do. And, you know, it'll help us get better. Just as long as you say, nice things about Bliss. Don't get him upset, yo. I want Bliss to be happy. Cut all this stuff off. um, so we already told you about President Biden and what's going on with him and China. That is something to monitor. And I believe that I am not a predictor of world events at all. I believe, though, because they've had this initial conversation, because Russia needs China's help. China is in a position where they really economically don't need the US's help as much, but I don't think that they would like sanctions against them. The Taiwan part, I don't know if that's real or imagined on the part of President Xi, but he said it. So now it's like, well, does the U.S. get involved at all in Taiwan? That is a thing. Or do they okay, we'll stay out of that. You stay out of Russia. We'll see. I think this is coming to a head, though, because it did not go the way that Putin thought it was going to go. And that's the bigger part of all of it. Knowing that his plan, for lack of a better word, wasn't executed in his original way that he wanted to be done, should be food for thought. And we'll table the Russian conversation for now at that. If you live in the heartland, where unfortunately, I live. Have you guys heard about the Lone Star tick? It's linked to Heartland virus and now in 6 states. Bliss, can you throw a picture up of that tick? It's not the lovable cartoon. It's not the lovable cartoon tick from the really great show, The Tick. This tick looks sickly and looks like it'll hurt people. And I don't want to get bit by a tick. I wouldn't want to get bit by a tick under any circumstances, but definitely not this tick. And one of the 6 states is Illinois. Go figure. That's how it goes, I suppose. When you get it up, Bliss, I'll know because you'll make a noise because it's a frightening looking thing. Ticks carrying a mysterious and rare virus that can sicken or even kill older adults or people with underlying conditions have been found in at least 6 states. A new study was reported on Wednesday. Test samples revealed that the Lone Star tick in Georgia had picked up the Heartland virus. Emory University researchers reported in Emerging Infectious Diseases, a Centers for Disease Control and Prevention publication. Gonzalo and Vasquez Procopec said, "We want to bring awareness rather than panic. People tend to go out more in the spring and they might get exposed to ticks, which are increasingly rapid, particularly in the South this time of year. Not much is yet known about the Heartland virus, which when transmitted to a person by a tick bite can cause fever, fatigue, decreased appetite, headache, nausea, diarrhea, and muscle or joint pain." It sounds like one of those commercials. It's unclear if other ticks can also spread the virus or if people can be infected in other ways. It did sound like that commercial, right?
It's like every drug commercial ever
on TV. Yeah.
Where they're checking out, getting groceries, and going for a jog and canoeing.
My sister's in one of those commercials, or she was really? A few years ago. Yeah, and when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, there you go, and I'm like happy for my sister. And then it goes, it may cause all kinds of things that'll kill you. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to see this. The disease has been reported in Missouri, Alabama, Illinois, Kansas, and New York, although it's unknown if the virus has spread to other areas of the U.S. Lone Star ticks. Okay, here we go. Mario says a word he's never said before. Lone Star ticks have also been found to carry bacteria that cause the diseases ehrlichiosis and tularemia. And the bite from a Lone Star tick has been linked to the development of meat allergies in some people. So be careful out there, folks. You see that thing? Look at how gross that is. That is gross. Yuck. Hey, man, am I in outer space? Is that our new backdrop? Ooh. Look at that.
Yeah, we do have that.
Look at that.
I just, because typically we have like a default one that is great because it has all the back channel stuff, but I don't like that when we put an image up that it's like moving behind us. It bothers me for some reason.
It gives you vertigo.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
So I decided to add some still backgrounds so that when
That's kind of cool.
Up, yeah,
I like that. I like that. I like that. All right, so there's that for the tick. Be careful out there, folks. The tick, not that tick, but the tick is coming to get you. Did you see this gigantic rocket ship yesterday? It's called Artemis 1. It's the Artemis 1 moon rocket. Oh, I am so happy. If you've watched the show, you know I'm a big like space and science dude. I love that kind of stuff. This thing huge. So for the first time in nearly 50 years, a moon rocket has made it to a launch pad at the Kennedy Space Center. The Artemis 1 rocket reached Launch Complex 39B early this morning, traveling overnight to make the 4-mile journey from the vehicle assembly building to the pad. While that's a short distance compared to the trip to the moon, I see what NPR did there, which lies around 250,000 miles away. The journey marked a key milestone in NASA's next chapter of deep space exploration. NASA astronaut Randy Bresnik said it's a huge moment. The Apollo program of the 1960s and 70s carried Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. Those two almost got left in space, if I'm not mistaken. Buzz Aldrin for sure. And other Americans to the lunar surface. Now the Artemis program, named after Apollo's twin sister, the goddess of the moon in Greek mythology, could soon bring astronauts back to our rocky neighbor after half-century absence. Anchoring the program's first mission is the Space Launch System, a 5 million-pound rocket that stands more than 300 feet tall and is designed to carry NASA's Orion capsule, a spacecraft that could one day ferry humans to the moon and back. Sign me up. This mission, dubbed Artemis 1, will carry no crew. Instead, it will test the rocket and spacecraft's capabilities for carrying astronauts on the more than 250,000-mile journey to the moon. And the mission isn't ready to leave the planet just yet. So it's going to do a wet dress rehearsal. And it's like a real one, but it's not. For the people in the room, like hysterical chimpanzee who's just joined us, would you guys get on a ferry to the moon that comes back to the Earth? Leave us a comment in the chat on backchannel.tv. You can leave it on YouTube as well. Or if you're listening to us on an Amazon supported device, make this your moment to join the show and tell your device. Put me in the chat with Mario Smith on the drive or something to that effect. And then we'll read what you have to say. Fat Panda's in the building. Says, hey, Rio. Hello, Fat Panda. I should know who that is, but today is alias name day, and I don't. I'm not going to act like I do. But hey, Fat Panda. Nice to see you again. Yeah. Gliss, you getting on that rocket? You going doing the ferry thing to the moon?
Like I've said before, it depends on the circumstances, because I get claustrophobic and I'm gonna get really anxious if it's like, you know, it's got to be comfortable, or if they like knock you out with a Valium or something before.
I was gonna say, do they sedate Gliss?
Yeah. Then yeah, sure.
Sedate my friend and just knock him clean out and get him on. I'm doing it. I would be, you know, though, man, I have my hallway. I don't even want to leave my house, so I don't know. Maybe I don't do it. I would do that. I think going to the moon would be an interesting experience for anybody.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah, because it's the
I'm
moon.
definitely interested. I mean, like you, I love outer space. I think,
Yeah.
I think it would be amazing. It's just I got to know more about the circumstances.
Yeah, you gotta give me more. I need
More
details. I need
Yeah.
details. Is there like a moon hotel? Am I living on this
Right.
ship?
Yeah. Like,
I
if I have like a bed and they just, strap me up and it's like a red eye flight that takes, an hour or two, then that's cool. Like I could probably do that.
With a rocket that big, though, see, my fear, man, is that bad boy is gonna get up there And I'm glad they're not putting anybody on it initially. And it's just too big. That's a
Yeah,
300
and it's
foot.
not gonna come back down.
Yeah, it's just up there forever. It's like a big. There's your moon hotel. That thing. That's the new first building on the moon.
That's the other thing. As cool as space is, I've always been impressed with astronauts and just thought like, man, I could never do that. So I, people have anxiety flying in an airplane. Just imagine when you're on a vessel that's leaving the atmosphere of the Earth. I mean,
Right.
that's a whole another level of anxiety, but it is pretty cool.
That would be fun. I would. Well, Fat Panda says it's cold though. Yeah, it's cold. I know who Fat Panda is now. I should have knew from the beginning. Yeah, it's cold, but well, if I'm up there with, hey, let me just put it to you this way: I'm not going to the moon alone. So snuggle up, Buttercup. We're gonna enjoy the moon together, me and somebody. But that would be interesting, man. The moon, the moon. I could do it. I think I could do it. More questions though. Am I gonna be able to watch the Bears and the White Sox and stuff? Am I gonna be able to watch my favorite TV shows?
You got to think they have satellite, right?
Do you really want to watch? I see what you did there. Do you think you'd even want to watch TV though? You're in the throes of space. I don't want to watch television.
Probably not. I'd probably be too stressed out and just overwhelmed with like, something that you've never experienced before, like being in outer space. Like, yeah, your mind would probably be elsewhere.
Be a little nervous, I guess. Yeah, but man, the view of Earth from the moon.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. That would be very like.
Put that on your Instagram.
Yeah. Right? Like, hey, everybody, I just took this picture. I want you guys to check it out. It's me on the moon.
And, cool. You took a picture of you cooking a pork chop. I took a picture of the Earth from the moon. So.
From the moon. Hey, I'm looking at your house from the moon. That would be wild. And don't like eat an edible and go to the moon. Oh, can I do that?
That might be the best way to do it.
It's probably the only way I'm doing it. Can I get to, and when they're training me, like on I Dream of Genie and they spinning me around and stuff, can I like, have some edibles just to see what would happen in space?
It's just some tested beforehand testing.
Yeah, hey, you know what? You can test it on me. I'm gonna eat them here on Earth. You do all the testing stuff, and then when we get up there, I'm gonna eat them too, and then we'll see what happens in space.
You'll get back to them and let them know for everybody.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna and if it works, it's not gonna take me long to do the findings because I'm not writing nothing down. I'm telling everybody what's happening. Yeah, there'll be no handwriting. It's like, look, it's working. This is the best idea ever. Look at the Earth. You ready for the fourth shot of Moderna, my friend?
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, man, bring it. Screw it. I do not want to get COVID because according to these doctors and stuff, it causes brain damage. It's just like that commercial again. Brain damage, bleeding eyeballs, spinning backwards. I don't want none of it. So Moderna is asking the Food and Drug Administration. Sorry, never mind. Asking the Food and Drug Administration to authorize a fourth shot of its COVID-19 vaccine as a booster for all adults. If they say, yeah, man, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'll probably do it too.
We'll have to do it on a Saturday. Because that last one knocked me down.
And it's so funny that it varies so much, like person to person. Because like for me, the booster, I felt bad for about 24 hours, and then I was done. Like I was good. Like I didn't feel good. My body, I had some aches. Kind of like the start of a fever, or the start of the flu or something like that. Like I had a little bit of that for about 24 hours, and then it was like done, and I felt fine.
I was 3
like
days
you.
there.
I've heard several people that were like, "Nah, man, that thing kicked me in the butt. I was down for 4 days." Like,
and unlike and like we talked about this too, unlike the second shot, that where I was like, okay, I know what this feeling is. I know what. Okay, headache, all that, cool. This one was like, lay down and stay down and don't get up. And then when you try to get up, and then I made the mistake of going to work, and that was the dumbest idea ever. So if that happens again, guess what? I'm not doing this or at anything. I'm staying in the bed. But I'll get it. If they say get it, man, get it. I've got 3 Modernas in me. That's a tough one, though.
I'm a Moderna guy myself. So.
And you know, man, yeah, right. Hi, I'm a Moderna guy. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm just enjoying some Moderna. Oh yeah, is it delicious? Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a Pfizer.
I'm more of a Johnson and Johnson. I can't do it a million times. I can do it once really good though. Thank you. But no, I had a conversation actually with that panda about this yesterday, and I do it. Yeah, I do. If she goes with me, I'll definitely do it. I'm like a big ass baby. I need someone to hold my hand and walk me into a doctor's office.
That's you're not the only one. There's lots of people that don't like going to the doctor.
Nah, I don't like doing any of it. You know what I hold on. What I'd like though is if I lived like in a building that had a hospital in it. So if I ever felt any weird stuff, I say, yo, I don't feel good again. Just like, oh, come on in. Yeah. That would be. But I guess we'll do it. I mean, you know, I can't go to the. I know too many people that died. That's kind of like my baseline on all of it. I know too many people that died. I know people that refused to get the shot that died. I'm just I'm not mentally prepared to be like, oh, well, I got 3 of them. Screw you guys. I'm out. Nah, I don't know. But I would like, because I know the scientific community is having this big argument about this particular thing. How many of these are they supposed to, are we supposed to take? And, there's various conspiracy theories like, well, this is leading up to this being a yearly shot like the flu shot. And, well, you know, you take one of these and then they're going to make it so you can get pills. I guess there are pills already being developed so you can take them. I don't know about any of that stuff, but I would like for there to be more information. And the White House is like pushing it. Like, you know, you need to get money and for the funding so we can make it happen. And I sometimes too much can be too much. I hope that we'll get it though. Fat Panda said, no, go on. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna kind of reiterate what you were saying is that for me, I kind of look at it as if this is kind of the lead into hopefully something more permanent where it will be, you know, a yearly vaccine or something like that. So I just kind of look at it as like, we're still in this right now. So like, let's do, you know, I'm going to do what I need to do for my family and the people around me to, you know, do whatever the science backs up. And then we'll go from there. You know, 5 years from now, it might look different and hopefully we won't be getting, you know, three shots a year. And I don't think that'll be the case. So I look at this as more of like the transitional part of it.
I'm very, I am concerned about how many more of these, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
I get it, but yikes. Come on, man. Burley Raccoon has joined us, by the way. It's working. Burley Raccoon is here. Jeff. People who spell Jeff with a Geoff, I have a whole different level of respect for people like that. I like that spelling of Jeff.
That was actually my father-in-law. That was how he spelled his name. He actually, sadly, he passed away actually like 6 weeks after we got married back in 2006. But my oldest son, Colin, his middle name is Jeff, and it's spelled that way.
There's something about
that. Isn't that an interesting spelling?
It is. I love that for some reason. I don't know why that makes me like get real like, yeah, that's how you spell Jeff.
It's like it comes off as so much more like complex than just Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not schmucky or anything like that. Yeah. It's really kind of like, yeah, my name's Jeff. And if anybody calls him Geoff, you can like open hand slap him in the face. That's wow. Don't call me that. My name's Jeff. So Jeff, wherever you are, brother, thank you for joining the show. Let's take a break, man. And come back with the community report. I'll unfold my arms because I don't want to act like I'm not interested, because I am super interested in everything that's going on today. And doing this without looking at myself is a new trick I've learned. It's the CNN part that Gliss likes. This is The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. Thank you, Fat Panda, and we'll be right back after these words. Hey everybody, it's The Drive with Mario Smith. It's Friday afternoon. It's 43 minutes after the hour. We appreciate you being here. Please don't forget to leave a review of the show on Backchannel.tv. Tell everybody what you think about it, how you like it, or where to have you. Let it go. Did you watch the I'm not trying to put you on the spot, Gliss. Did you watch the St. Patrick's Day program last night?
On Backchannel?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't watch it live, but I went and watched actually while I was putting my 4-year-old to bed, while I was helping him go to sleep. I actually, watched some of it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Was it really good?
Yeah, it was cool.
Nice.
I've actually seen because I came across the app Bedtime Stories before.
Yeah.
On my Amazon device, and so I kind of knew what it was, but it was kind of cool to see it on Backchannel, like on this platform
at night, late at night.
It's like it's like a live thing. I thought that was kind of cool.
Hey, can I ask you a question that I should probably not be asking in front of the whole world, but I'm going to ask it anyway? If I said to you one time, like, yo, man, let's do like a late night show. It won't be late your time.
Yeah.
But it would be late my time. Would you be down for doing that?
Hell yeah.
All right. I want to get that
Absolutely.
out there. I think that would be fun to come in here and invade this space at night, Yeah,
that would be fun. Do like we'd have to call it like, it's like when Howard Stern would do like a show, and then there'd be like the post show where it'd be like some of the people from his crew.
Yeah.
Like have to have a secondary name or something.
We could invite because all the West Coast folks. So that's Anthony Davis, that's Hal, that's Travis. I think it's Will on the East Coast or West Coast.
I believe Will is in London or England.
Wow.
Somewhere in England. I'm not sure where. But
I didn't know that. Well, I should have known that. That would be really cool, though.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be like a Backchannel jam session.
Right, at night, late for everybody except for you.
Late night with Backchannel.
Yeah, we'll have to put that in the box, the suggestion box. Do they have a suggestion box for us?
We make our own suggestions.
Yeah, we do. I just thought I'd throw that out there. This means nothing to anybody watching. So let me give you some context. All those people I mentioned are on Backchannel, or they're involved with Backchannel one way or another. So that'd be like Robert, Riyadh, Rachel. I'm trying to name everybody I
Big
know.
family.
It's really big. It's a lot of people. That would be fun. I'm down for it. I'd stay up for that.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. So remember when they tried to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer?
Yes.
It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. A key thing.
I agree with you. It's serious, but it's kind of like one of those things that just like puts in perspective some of what we've gone through in the
Just how
last
goofy.
5 years or so, where it's just like, what is
Right?
happening?
What are we doing? These
That's
people tried to kidnap a governor because they were mad about COVID-19 restrictions. Word? Your freedom is that affected? Sirs. So one of these idiots in this plot told an undercover FBI agent that he wanted to restrain the tyrant on a table, then pose for a photo like we just made the biggest drug bust, according to a secret recording played for jurors Thursday. The trial of 4 idiots resumed in federal court in Grand Rapids, Michigan, after a 3-day delay due to someone in the courtroom testing positive for, ironically, COVID-19. Agent Mark Schwiers told the jury that he was posing as someone with like-minded views for Michigan's Upper Peninsula. It's not funny. Stop, Mario. Stop laughing. When he met Adam Fox in the basement of a vacuum shop in suburban Grand Rapids, a hideaway accessed by a trap door, Fox didn't know Schwiers was wearing a recording device as he talked excitedly about attacking the Michigan Capitol, teaming up with a militia called the Wolverine Watchmen, and restoring a constitutional republic.
That just shows you how ridiculous it is. I mean, just to have a silly nickname like who do these people think they are? Come on.
Apparently, they thought that they were going to overturn the federal government as well, but definitely the government in Michigan. We want her flex cuffed on a table while we all pose and get our pictures taken like we just made the biggest drug bust, pause, in history. You give us that, we'll be happy, Fox said. Then you lock her up, even if we got to go with her. Fox, Barry Croft Jr., Daniel Harris, and Brandon Caserta are charged with conspiracy. Prosecutors said they turned their anger toward government in 2020 into a plot to kidnap Whitmer at her vacation home because of restrictions she imposed during the early months of the pandemic. Earlier Thursday, FBI agent Christopher Long testified about how investigators got interested in Croft, a trucker from Bear, Delaware. All right, there's too many things happening here. It's called Bear, Delaware. How did I not know this already? And what goes on at Bear? Yeah, and they want to tie her to a table. This sounds more like an adult movie than it does like a kidnapping situation. I don't think I want to even do any of this anymore. What is going on? What are we doing?
You can almost, it's almost like with everything, with you pointing that out, I can already see someone out there writing an adult movie with this plot line. And let's not forget that there was a Sarah Palin themed adult movie. So there's this. This sounds like.
Let me tell you something, Bliss. There's room for a lot of themes in the adult movie world. That's a constellation that has not yet been completely conquered yet. These ding dongs had the whole thing planned out, but the tying her to a table, like she's venison or something. What is that supposed to symbolize? And how long did they think they'd be able to get away with kidnapping a governor? What are you doing?
I still can't get past. What do they call themselves? The Wolverine what?
The Wolverine Watchmen.
That's the part that's the only part of the story that matters to me. That just like sums it all up for me.
Watery baboon in Arizona, violet crocodile in Virginia. Nice. Thank you. This is the goofy. I do a lot of strange things in my personal life. This is the strangest thing I think I've done in my professional life. This is really kind of weird that I'm reading names, but we asked for it. It's Friday. It's alias day, so give us your aliases. But yeah, man, they tried to kidnap the governor of the damn state of Michigan. And I'm like, what idiots would try and do that and fail. Because if you're going to go for it, you might as well go all the way. But, Trump had people tripping. They were tripping hard. Yeah. This is a weird story out of Florida. 4 Disney employees were arrested in a massive undercover operation targeting human traffickers, child predators, and every time, I swear, if I had a dime, bro, I'd be rich. Here we go. Child predators and prostitution. The Polk County Sheriff's Office identified the workers at a news conference on Wednesday following the conclusion of Operation March Sadness 2, a 6-day sting that led to the arrest. Where do they get those names from? March Sadness? A 6-day sting that led to the arrest of 108 people. Xavier Jackson, 27, of Kissimmee, allegedly communicated online and via text with an undercover detective posing as a 14-year-old girl. You know what, Gliss? Can I just share something with you?
Yeah.
I'm not like in any kind of. I don't do that. There's no way in the world that I would try to have a conversation with a 14-year-old anybody unless they were related to me, right? And if I'm talking to you and I think you're 14 years old, I'm asking, where's your mother? I don't want to talk to you. I live right across the street from a school. When those kids walk by me, I do not make eye contact with them. I am looking anywhere. They think I'm crazy because I would stop what I'm doing and just start looking around like there's something happening somewhere. No. You're not going to try to, hey, I want to meet you. No, you don't. You don't. You do not want to meet me. How dare you? Where's your mother? And where's your mother? Because I would like to talk to your mother about your behavior. Jackson worked as a lifeguard at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Sheriff Grady Judd said, yeah, that's Florida. His name's Grady Judd. You better know it. He allegedly sent photos showing him doing things that's totally inappropriate and bragged about working at the resort, the sheriff said. Jackson was arrested and charged with 3 counts of harmful material and 1 count of unlawful communication. The 3 other Disney employees are identified as Ralph Leese, 45, Shubham Malave, 27, and Wilkeson Fidel, 24. They were all charged with soliciting a prostitute, Judd said. Fidel from Orlando worked at Disney for about 4 years at the Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe in Tomorrowland, the sheriff said. Leese from Winter Garden worked in IT for Disney, and Malaway was a software developer for the company. Malaway is in the United States on a work visa. Son, you ain't never going home. And if you go home, you're never getting out. There's no way. You could not trick me. First of all, what the hell are we going to talk about if I'm me, current age, and it's somebody on the phone that sounds like a 14-year-old, and if they identify themselves as a 14-year-old, I'm hanging up the phone. I want to talk to you. And why am I on the phone with a 14-year-old? You've got to be kidding me. That is just sick. That's sick. No way. No way. Real quick, Juicy Smollett is out of jail. They let him out the other night, Gliss. The judge was like, you can't hold him in here while he's not a violent criminal. Why are you holding him in jail when he is appealing this conviction? Get him out of there. He shouldn't be in jail in the first place. He already paid a stupid fine. In weather-related news, real quick, that are you guys? You're not experiencing a drought. I was on the phone with you the other day during a monsoon, but apparently California is. It's been like 3 years since any real serious rain or snow. No winter relief this year. Yeah. And there's no relief in sight for the West record-shattering mega drought, which will likely only deepen this spring. Central and eastern states, though, this is like your weather forecast. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tom Skilling, but he is the greatest weatherman that's ever lived on the earth, and he's here in Chicago, and you can't have him. And he's at one point in his life, he's going to have to retire because he's getting up there. But I love Tom. He's a good dude. But eastern and central states should be mostly spared from significant flooding. Spring is likely to be hotter than normal in most states and drier as well for much of the West. They said the high heat and drought will fuel each other as the lack of rain makes it hotter, intensifying dry conditions. The NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, predicts all of the lower 48 states to be warmer than normal in April, May, and June, except Washington, Oregon, Montana, North Dakota, and much of Idaho. Only an area around the Great Lakes down to Kentucky is forecast to be wetter than normal. Worsening allergies are expected in the areas that will be hot and wet.
Well, that's good because I don't need 117 this summer again. So I'm glad that we're not included in that.
I got some summer stuff to do, man, and I don't want to be complaining about the heat like I always do. I sound like a curmudgeon. I just want it to be nice. So it doesn't have to be 6 billion degrees. Already 60% of the nation is in some form of drought, the largest drought since 2013. The conditions are likely to get worse in many of those areas and could set the stage for more heat waves. La Nina, a natural periodic cooling of the Central Pacific that affects climate worldwide, is a huge factor in the spring outlook. In California, especially in the Central Valley, 3-year rain and snow levels will soon reach the lowest on record since 1922. So, yeah, get your almanac out. We'll keep an eye on it. Me and Bliss, we're weathermen. Meteorologists is what they call us. We got you. And sad news, man, and I don't want to make any kind of light about this. A 13-year-old kid was driving a truck that killed 9 people in Texas. The golf team at the University of the Southwest.
That's crazy.
Who he was. I am troubled by that. Where is this person's supervision? There's no adult around to make sure that a 13-year-old boy is not driving a car. The driver and passenger in the 2007 Dodge pickup truck both died. He was a 13-year-old child. The crash occurred after the left front tire spare failed. Quote, no matter how many times we go through one of these investigations, we understand the quiet, Nora O'Donnell. It was horrible. Why is a 13-year-old with a passenger driving a Dodge Charger on a spare tire? Are you kidding me? Now 9 people are dead, including the driver and the passenger. That is crazy. And that's the community report. We're going to come back with headlines. Actually, we're going to actually do the show as it was intended to be done at the top of the last hour. And when we come back, we'll have entertainment, headlines. We'll do some sports. Talk a little bit more about Deshaun Watson being a member now of the Cleveland Browns. Trying to figure out where Baker Mayfield is going to live since he lives in stadiums and not in an actual home. Him and his wife. Should be interesting for him. And we've got all of that and so much more for you. This is The Drive with Mario Smith. And you're watching it on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported device. Hour number 2 in just a moment. Welcome to hour number 2 of The Drive with Mario Smith, live from Chicago, Illinois. How you doing, everybody? Thank you for being with us today. We really appreciate it. It is Friday. It's Alias Day, so you can leave your alias in the chat. We got many people. Fine Panther is with us. Fine Panther. Hey, Fine Panther. I don't know what that means. Elizabeth is in Maine. Melissa's in Oregon. Fine Panther and Harry are new people to the show. Thank you, guys. Wari Baboon in Arizona is here. What's WHAT''S. What's is here. Michelle's in Florida. Karimus in London are with us as well, along with Jerry. Tense Panther. Premium Pheasant. Glitz, we started something, bro. is with us. In regards to the weather, Fat Panda says, just brace yourself for it. Why would it be cooler this summer? I don't want it to be cooler. I just want it to be nice. It doesn't need to be 100 degrees. It just needs to be nice. Just and Fat Panda is saying that the dad was in the passenger seat of that car with the 13-year-old. So he was teaching the son how to drive in the middle of the night on a spare. Ooh-wee. Wow. That is crazy. That's crazy. Joining us in Portland, Oregon is the producer, super producer, Jay Gliss. What's up, Gliss?
Not much. I have my my animal alias now right here.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see you. What do you got here? What is it? Oh, by the way, Gary says Tom freaking Skilling. That's right. You better put that on there because Tom Skilling is the man. What are you there? You're bald seagull?
Bald seagull, yeah.
I'm going to be Mario Smith on this one. I just want to pilot the ship. Watch everybody do it themselves. Electric Eagle is here. Electric Eagle is joining us. Let's run through these headlines really quickly. President Putin appeared at a rally, at a huge flag-waving rally at a packed Moscow stadium on Friday and lavished praise on his troops fighting in Ukraine 3 weeks into the invasion that has led to heavier than expected Russian losses on the battlefield and increasingly authoritarian rule at home. And the other headline today is President Biden and Xi Jinping, president of China, had a meeting today, of course, virtually. And in that meeting, both men threatened to do some bodily harm to the other. That's not exactly how it went. Biden threatened to impose sanctions upon China if China gets involved in the war with Russia against the Ukraine. And the Chinese threatened the United States if the United States gets involved in China's involvement with Taiwan. More on that later. And the big news in the sports world is Deshaun Watson, formerly of the Houston Texans, is now a member of the Cleveland Browns. And those are the headlines at the top of the hour. All right, let's go into the chat here, man, and see what people are doing. Let's see. Overconfident Emu says yes and then no. And this is Overconfident Emu's first time on the show. Hey, Overconfident Emu. Nice to meet you. Oh, man. This is so crazy. Overconfident Emu, oh God, is in New Jersey. Welcome to the show. Overconfident Emu. These are good.
They are.
I think these are pretty
creative.
Good. Yeah, not bad. Hey, by the way, you guys are on Backchannel. Leave a review of the show, please. Let us know what you think and how you think things are going. This is episode number 40. Thank you. We made it this far. They're not going to cut us off today. Not today, anyway. Episode 40. Not bad. Leave the review on backchannel.tv and let us know what you think of the show and let us know how we can be of service to you. And this is an interactive program, so please feel free to talk to us and we will talk back to you. While I'm at it, why don't we take a break? We come back with the entertainment report. It's the drive with, or something. It's the drive with Mario Smith here on backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. It's Friday. It's 4 minutes after the hour. We'll be right back after these words. king of Staten Island will no longer be making his first out of this world appearance. Saturday Night Live star Pete Davidson was scheduled to fly to the edge of space next week on a rocket and capsule by Blue Origin, the private spaceflight company created by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. However, the company announced Thursday night that the flight, originally slated for Wednesday, was being rescheduled to March 29th. Pete Davidson is no longer able to join the NS-20 crew on this mission, a company spokesman said in a written statement. We will announce the sixth crew member in the coming days. Davidson, 28, had been slated to travel to space with Party America CEO Marty Allen, philanthropist and real estate mogul Mark Hagel, and his wife Sharon, the founder of the nonprofit Space Kicks Global Explorer and University of North Carolina Professor Jim Kitchen, and Dr. George Nield, the president of Commercial Space Technologies and former manager of the Flight Integration Office for NASA's Space Shuttle program. The March 29th, I'm sad that he's not going into space. The March 29th flight will be the fourth human flight and 20th flight overall for the New Shepard program. Passengers on the flight experience about 4 minutes of weightlessness by traveling to the edge of space at an altitude of just more than 65 miles. Davidson would not have been the first celebrity to leave the planet on a Blue Origin rocket. Star Trek legend William Shatner, 90, became the oldest person to reach space in October, and NFL Hall of Famer Michael Strahan took a flight in December. Oh, well, Pete Davidson's not going to space, Gliss. You going to be able to sleep tonight? You going to be okay? Judging by your silence, that means you're going to be fine. Yeah.
I'm good, yeah.
Nobody cares. I mean, you know, my man.
I mean, I don't really care. So
nobody. I don't. Just don't stay up there. Just come on back home. Britney Spears deleted her Instagram account again. Have you ever been on her Instagram? It is weird.
I have not.
It is so weird, sir. It is weird. I
can kind of picture that. She has a little bit of a history.
Yeah. And I think she's doing that history before she goes on Instagram. She's like gyrating around and dancing and singing, and it's weird.
She doesn't do it publicly anymore, so maybe that's her outlet. I know yeah.
It's kind of odd. Oh, Britney. I think she may be going through some things. Another person.
Yeah, she has a history with that, so.
Yeah, all the best to Britney. Whatever. I don't, and as much as I don't care about Pete Davidson going into space, I don't really care about her deleting her Instagram account. I just thought it would be newsworthy and something that we should talk about for all of 2 minutes. And for 1 minute,
it's out there.
and for the additional minute that I have to talk about things that I don't care about, Kanye West has been suspended from Instagram for directing a racial slur at Trevor Noah. Now, I know what everybody's going to say. I'm going to what D.L. Hughley has said. Noah said people are genuinely worried about that man, Kanye West, and he needs somebody. And I know the cats that are with him. I know those dudes. I'm not making that up. It's not hyperbole either. He's got plenty of people telling him yes, but he needs somebody to get him at his collar and look at him in his eyeballs and reject the fact that this man is a billionaire and tell him, you need some help, brother. You need help. And I don't know why this is not happening. And it's disturbing that this keeps going. So they suspended him for 24 hours for bullying and harassment of Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah's a big boy. He can handle himself. He's from South Africa. He's far worse than Kanye West. That I know. He can handle it. You didn't have to suspend Kanye West. Should have let those two men work that out. It's the whole gist of this is this battle between him and his ex-wife about their children, and it's being played out in public. And that would be the other thing. Stop talking. Stop it. Have a conversation with her or her lawyer, or what you got to do. Stop putting that out there. Stop talking so much. Stop being on social media for a minute. Just be cool. Try your best. I know it's a harrowing situation. That's not helping it. It's hurting him. to do all
Yeah.
these things in the public eye. It's ridiculous. You got a wonderful show that's on Netflix that's making people change their mind about you, but you're so mad at Trevor Noah that you feel like you have to call him out of his name. Dude, he lived in South Africa during the height of apartheid. You think he cares about you in that respect? And what you say, that's not bothering him. Stop it, man. Somebody get him. Now, I don't know how you feel about this, Bliss. And I love the Rolling Stones and all. This is the angriest entertainment report ever. I love the Rolling Stones and everything. But they just announced tour. Mick is 80, am I right?
He's got to be.
And my boy plays bass with them, Munch, Daryl Jones, alum, neighbor, all that stuff. Legendary group announced a European tour called 60, which will hit Madrid, Munich, Liverpool, Amsterdam, Bern, Switzerland, Milan, London, Brussels, Belgium, Vienna, Austria, Lyon, Gelsenkirchen, Germany. I don't know how to say that. I'm please, German, don't be mad at me. And Stockholm. The band will perform 14 shows all this summer, starting on the 1st of June. They're calling it 60, celebration of their 60th anniversary. Good Lord. Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Ronnie Wood will also make their long-awaited return to the K. The group will perform at Liverpool FC Anfield. Ooh, the first ever stadium show in this city by the Stones. There will also be 2 shows in London's Hyde Park. Following the death of drummer Charlie Watts, the group will be joined. Nice choice, Steve Jordan on drums. The set list for the shows includes Give Me Shelter, Painted Black, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Tumbling Dice, Satisfaction, Start Me Up, and many more hits. The latest tour follows the Rolling Stones No Filter tour across the United States in 2021, which I missed. I would have loved to have seen the Stones. But, I played some stereo on my show, and I was like, this is perfect. Don't have to be worried about Mick falling or, something crazy happening. Let's do one more. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Dolly Parton the other day said, I don't want any part of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame said, yeah, but keep your name on the ballot, though, because, we doing it. Thank you. So there you go. She's still on the ballot for the Rock Hall of Fame. It is time for us to take a break as we get ready to have the sports report, because it's a lot to talk about in the sports world. But before we do that, Gary T. See, I don't know. I hear you, Gary, calling them Nutty McPancakes. But I think somebody just needs to absolutely you put it on the screen. I think someone needs to have a serious conversation with him. They need to be like, yo, man, why are you doing this? Stop. Get off the social media for a while. Don't do anything. Continue to make records. Find a way to be able to see your children. But this public fighting you're doing, it's not helping you. And let's see what we got in the chat real quick. Peachy Snail has joined us. I believe this is Jules in Texas. Hello. How you doing? He said hi, by the way. Hi. Step is here. Khaki Whale. It's Khaki Whale's first time on the show as well. I am so proud of everybody doing this. Thank you. It's Alias Day on the show. If you're going to join us on Backchannel, make sure you leave an alias name. You can do it on YouTube too, because who's this? It's Electric Eagle on YouTube. On YouTube. All right, when we come back, we'll have the sports report. We'll be playing ball. And this is going to be a good one because there's a lot to talk about, including the NCAA tournament. Loyola Chicago lost this morning. That was one of the worst basketball games that has ever been played in human history. Also, big schools lost last night. We'll bring you some live scores and all that stuff in a minute. It's The Drive with Mario Smith, live from Chicago, Illinois, here on Backchannel.tv, on YouTube, and also on your Amazon supported devices. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's 15 minutes after the hour, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's The Drive. It's 17 minutes after the hour. It's time to take a look at what is happening in the NCAA tournament. If you've got the sound down on your TV, I appreciate that. In the second quarter, right now, Miami of Florida is winning against USC. It's 57-54. Notre Dame at the half over Alabama, 41-46. In the first quarter, Virginia Tech is beating Texas by a point, 23-20. Loyola Chicago lost earlier this morning by a score of 54-41. In the first quarter, the score was 23-18. They went to the half 23-18. Jacksonville State, I guess, lost to Auburn 80-61. Last night, however, was upset night all over the place as two universities who were many expected to go far in the tournament did not. The biggest of these was the University of Kentucky, losing to something called St. Pete's, a school no one had heard of prior to yesterday unless you went to the school. Super big upset. Your bracket still good, Gliss, or is it over?
I actually did not end up filling out a bracket.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I ran out of time. I ran out of time, and
yeah, you know what?
I've been watching though. Like I've been watching the games. In fact, I'm about to pull one up on my laptop. Just to check in. I mean, we're in sports. We got, it's Friday. We got 40 minutes left. I'm like, I gotta check out what's going on right now. It's the middle of the day. In the first weekend's the best weekend of March Madness, in my opinion. It's not that I don't care, like, once it gets down to the end, who wins. It's just like the first weekend is where all the magic is.
It's like just every other day.
After game. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Iowa lost last night, which came as a huge surprise. Iowa, they've got two legit NBA players on their team. They couldn't do it. Couldn't win. North Carolina won, looking good. UCLA, who I've picked to win the whole thing, almost lost last night. But that Kentucky game, St. Peter's, a private school of about 3,500 kids in Jersey City, actually, beat Kentucky. Kentucky went out in the first round. In the first game. That is, ooh boy. So if you're watching, keep watching, because this is a good tournament this year. There's a lot to be excited about. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tomorrow should be a good day too. Some good basketball later on tonight as well. We'll get into that in just a moment. United States officials say that Russian authorities won't let them see Brittany Griner. And this is from Axios. U.S. officials have not seen American basketball star Brittany Griner since she was arrested in Moscow last month on drug charges because Russian authorities have repeatedly denied their requests, a State Department spokesman told Axios yesterday. We have repeatedly asked for consular access to these detainees and have consistently been denied access, the spokesperson said in an emailed statement. Russia must abide by its legal obligations and allow us to provide consular services for U.S. citizens detained in Russia, the spokesperson said. The spokesperson said U.S. officials were, quote, closely engaged on this case and in frequent contact with the legal team of the WNBA player who's had her detention extended until May 19th, according to the state-run TASS news agency. Griner, a double Olympian, was detained as relations between Russia and the U.S. deteriorated on February 17th after Russian Federal Customs Service accused her of having vape cartridges containing hashish oil in her luggage at an airport near Moscow. That same day, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken warned in a speech before the United Nations Security Council that the U.S. believed Russia's military would invade Ukraine within days. 1 week later, the invasion began. Help me, Gliss, because you would know better than me, I suppose. She actually did have the vape, and she had the cartridges, right?
That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, that's what my understanding was that it was a vape, like a vape pen or something like that.
Okay, because
not like physical, not like physical marijuana flower type product.
I don't know if man, this is wild. This is getting wild.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
That's super scary. So what happens on May 19th? Hopefully, pardon me. Hopefully, Brittany is released. That would be terrible. Big trade last night in the NFL. Who I was hoping would be a Bear for some stupid reason. Devontae Adams, formerly of the team I hate more than almost anything on earth, the Green Bay Packers, was traded to the to the Las Vegas Raiders. That AFC West is going to be bananas. Holy moly.
A lot of fun, interesting moves going on there.
Man, like a lot.
Russell Wilson, Devontae Adams.
You already got Mahomes, and you got what's his name?
Justin Herbert.
In Buffalo. Justin. A lot of teams in the AFC West that are good. Like I said, man, I got no reason to watch the Bears till 2024 anyway. I'll be watching a lot of AFC West games. A lot of them. That's going to be exciting. CBS Sports.
You brought up the Chiefs too. Just a little while ago, after the Deshaun Watson trade, Juju Smith-Schuster signed with the Chiefs.
I'm on him to be a Bear too.
I know. I know. So a couple of the big name, free agent targets out there are, now have new homes.
Smith-Schuster on that team is going to be hard to. Oh boy,
that's dangerous with him and Tyreek Hill.
Yikes! Good for my fantasy team, but bad for everything else. That's going to be a good run there. Not only did the Packers acquire Adams, they also made him the highest paid receiver in the NFL, giving him a 5-year contract that pays him $141.25 million. One day, Gliss, a son, a grandson, a godson, somebody I know is going to hit it big with one of those big-time contracts. CBS Sports gives the Raiders an A for the trade. And they got a first and second rounder, or they gave a first and second rounder to the Packers. Do you think Aaron Rodgers, and this is the thing they were talking about on sports radio here in town this morning, do you think Aaron Rodgers was in on that? Like, yeah, let him go. Because that was his man. They both intimated that one would not play without the other. Aaron Rodgers went as far as to say, I'll go wherever Devontae goes if he leaves. So What does this mean for Aaron Rodgers?
I know that's a weird dynamic, and it's one of the first things I had been thinking of that we, and we kind of talked about that just when we were talking about the whole Aaron Rodgers thing when he took that contract, is that, how are you going to pay for Devontae Adams, who is their best offensive weapon, if not the best receiver in all of football? Maybe DeAndre Hopkins, a couple other guys you could, make an argument for. Yeah, Cooper Kupp. But yeah, that's one of the weirdest things about this whole thing. It's almost like Aaron Rodgers was willing to accept not being a contender.
It's a lot of money.
If he got locked up in a long-term deal where he was making a lot of money. And I mean, like you said, they're friends, so I mean, I guess both of them are okay with it.
Here's the thing, though, man. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, and thank God I am not, but if I was Aaron Rodgers, it's the same thing with Chris Bryant going to the Colorado Rockies. The competitor in me wants to win a major trophy. I know the money is, you're never going to make that kind of money again in your life, maybe, unless you become a sportscaster like Troy Aikman or Tony Romo. That's another story. But you're never going to make that kind of money again. Don't you want to have the legacy of your athletic career be the accomplishment and the achievement of winning a championship? The Packers aren't winning any Super Bowls anytime soon. What is Aaron Rodgers going to throw it to himself? You know what I'm saying? Is Chris Bryant going to hit it out the park, never play defense? How are they going to benefit at all by these big money deals? I mean, I get it. It's the money.
Yeah.
But at some point, it can't just be the money. The Packers aren't going to be competitive. Well, in the NFC East, they'll be, or NFC Central, they'll be super competitive. They're going to win the next 2 years at least. Right. But that's not a Super Bowl win for Aaron Rodgers anytime soon. He makes a Pro Bowl, wins MVP again. I guess I'm saying, without saying, I don't think he's a selfish person.
Right.
I don't think he's a selfish player. I think he's a selfish person. I don't think Chris Bryant is a selfish person or a selfish player. I just think that he thinks in 3 years I'll be out. I got the money I want. I'm set. I don't have to play here for a full 5 years. I'm gone in 3, maybe 2.
He's won a World Series. He had somewhere that he can have good numbers. Very, very hitter friendly team that he went to, and he's set for what could be his final contract. And I guess that's the way some people look at it. I guess, but I'm with you though. Like, you're someone like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, we talk, we kind of joke about him, and I know neither of us care for him that much, but I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the last 20 years. He's won how many MVPs? And you're talking about a guy that's that's aging, and his window is getting smaller and smaller. I would be trying to win. I'd be like the opposite. Like, I've made my money. He could go do whatever the hell he wants after he retires and make tons of money doing it, because he's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he hosted Jeopardy. Like, he has lots of other things he could pursue after football. And to me, it's not like, when you are that great of a player and it's late in your career, I'm thinking more about my legacy than I'm thinking about my contract.
I can care less about all that stuff. I want to win a Super Bowl. He's got one, though, in Aaron Rodgers' case, just like with Chris Bryant. He's got a trophy already. He's got a World Series. Chris Bryant also has an MVP. He turned down a substantial amount of money that the Chicago Cubs allegedly offered him. But still, man, I don't think that, and it's easy to say that when you've never had millions of dollars thrown at you. But, by the way, Overrated Crane is here along with Hideous Butterfly and Chosen Mosquito. Chosen Mosquito is like that. Yes. Please keep the aliases coming. So I think when we start talking about money like that, like here in Chicago, Zach LaVine, ball player for the Chicago Bulls, is about to get a max offer, maybe. Because now the question is, well, his knee is bad. Do you want to give him max money? Or do you want to make it so he's comfortable the rest of his life with his family and he's still a Bull? Because if he's looking for max money, and if I'm Arturas Karnisovas or Mark Eversley, the president and the GM of the Chicago Bulls, I'm not paying him max money. Right. No. And I love him. I think he's a great addition on the team. I think he'll be great wherever he goes. But I'm not giving you max money. We'd have to work something out. I got to be sure that your knee is going to be okay before I give you whatever max money is in the NBA for somebody of his talent and his
it's a lot.
Stature. Yes, a lot. Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. Deshaun Watson is a member of the Cleveland Browns, thus evicting unceremoniously Baker Mayfield from Progressive Stadium, meaning that now Deshaun Watson will be living there, probably with his lawyer, because he's in all kinds of trouble. Him to the Browns. The Texans are going full circle. They moved up in the draft in 2017 to get Deshaun Watson from the Browns, and it's a blockbuster deal. Houston has dealt its franchise QB. Let's see what the money is. Here we go. As part of the move, Watson gets a new, fully guaranteed 5-year, $230 million contract. That's according to Ian Rappaport from NFL Network. The move gives Watson a new home less than 2 years after he signed his mega deal in Houston. More importantly, it brings a blockbuster end to trade speculation complicated by outstanding civil lawsuits against the QB, with 22 different women alleging sexual assault or misconduct, and the NFL still is investigating the matter. Cleveland will surrender 3 first-round draft picks as well as a third-rounder in exchange for the QB, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, while swapping day 3 picks. Watson, 26, appeared locked into Houston after inking his big money deal prior to the 2020 season, during which he posted a career-high 4,823 yards and 33 touchdown passes. The Texans, meanwhile, repeatedly declared the young QB was not on the market in the wake of reports about Watson's displeasure with team brass, specifically over front office decisions that were allegedly made without promised consultation. Now, however, after more than a year of being behind the scenes, the two sides have finally agreed to split with Watson, headed to the Browns ahead of the 2022 campaign. Watson reportedly began organizing meetings with interested teams, including the Browns, Falcons, Panthers, and Saints. The Colts reportedly requested permission to meet with Watson as well, only to be denied by their division rival Texans. Watson's contract includes a no trade clause, which allowed him to veto any potential deal offered to the Texans. Most reports indicated Watson had narrowed his preferred destinations to the Falcons and Saints, with Atlanta reportedly even delaying a roster bonus in QB Matt Ryan's contract to attempt to finalize a Watson acquisition. Today, however, the former Texas standout reportedly reconsidered his options and that $230 million, son, and said, I'll be around. That's what he reconsidered. His options were
not so bad.
I think, I could get used to not having anything to do every night except going to see the Browns. Going to see the Guardians and the Cavaliers play. Because it ain't nothing to do in Cleveland. I've been there. It ain't nothing to do in Cleveland. He's going to be the king of the town, though. And he's a great quarterback, but it's just too much creepy for me involved that I can't get past the creepy part where I'm like, yo, man,
what are you doing?
What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? 22 different women, and there were more than that.
Yeah,
there were more than that. Man, look, no. See,
that's some creepy stuff too.
Yeah, you running around. No, man, sexually assaulting women, just being an overall creep.
And it's a lot of outlets are already reporting that Baker Mayfield is asking to be traded to the Indianapolis Colts.
Might be a good look for him there.
I agree. I think he could fit in there.
Yeah,
I mean they have an amazing, young running back there. You throw him on
yes, they do.
A pretty good team.
Yeah. He's good. Here's the thing too with Baker Mayfield. He's not a bum. I just think he needs to just do what he does really well and stop trying to be somebody that he's not. And it's patently absurd for him to think that he is the great or trying to be some kind of great when he's just not. But that's a big one. If he goes there, that's also a big deal.
That could do a lot for, and sometimes it's just change of scenery for some players. He kind of feels like one of those guys that would really benefit just going to a good situation that could actually, do something with his career.
As long as he's not coming here, that's fine. Yeah. Don't come here because that would be a bit much. Here's a report that it's going to land where it lands. Leah Thomas, if you're not familiar with the name Leah Thomas just won a national championship. Thomas is a transgender woman, and she touched the wall in 4 minutes, 33.24 seconds in the 500-yard freestyle last night to become the first known transgender athlete to win a Division I national championship in any sport. Thomas finished 1.75 seconds ahead. Let me give you a better picture of that. Thomas burnt everybody that was in that pool alive. They did not have a chance. She was swimming, if you will. Thomas's time was the season's best and a little more than 9 seconds off of Katie Ledecky's 4-minute, 24.06 second record. The race began with the crowd cheering for each of the swimmers, but fans were noticeably quiet for Thomas's introduction. Save Women's Sports founder Beth Stelzer draped a vinyl banner with the organization's phrase over the railing. So here's the question, and I know that we have at least, although I haven't seen Jennifer Lopez in a while, I know we have one transgender person that checks out this show. How do you feel about that? Wouldn't it be, or would it be easier to have like you have your men's competition, you have your women's competition? Shouldn't you be able to have a transgender category as well?
I think that's where I fall too. Like it doesn't. I'm all for the rights of everybody and being inclusive and all that stuff, but there is something that just doesn't feel quite right about that.
Because if you see the video of her in pool.
Yeah.
That is she outswam everybody. It wasn't even close. And that's not to say that as a transgender person, she shouldn't be allowed to be in the pool. That's not what I'm on.
No.
I'm just saying, shouldn't there just be, why not give transgender people their own category along with the men and the women you have transgender folks?
Yeah. No, I think that's where I fall as well, just because it is such a difficult thing when you're talking about the way someone was born physically.
Yeah.
Versus, how they identify and how they live their lifestyle and all that. There's a difference, I think, when it comes to competing. And I agree with you. I think there has to be some kind of middle ground that we can find to make it so that everybody feels like, they're getting a fair shake on all of it.
Because I can't imagine the controversy that is developing in that world, where people who feel like, wow, well, I just got beat by a transgender person, of course I'm not going to win this one. I don't know the answer, and I don't pretend to know, so I'm going to shut up. But my suggestion would be, why don't we just deal with it, face it, and have a transgender category, because that seems to me to be the right thing to do, and that competition is a level playing field. That is also not to say that a transgender athlete is better than a woman athlete or a man athlete. It's just putting everything and making it plain. This is what we're doing. Kaylee says hello, by the way. Hi, Kaylee. How you doing? And Abject Mosquito, Chosen Mosquito, Unused Caterpillar, and Celestial Mosquito have all joined the show. Salute to all of you. These are the most unique names in the world.
All our mosquitoes out there.
There's a lot. Hello to all.
There's lots of mosquitoes.
Tonight in the NBA, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, the Mavericks against the Sixers. At 7:30, it's the Grizzlies against the Hawks, the Wizards against the Knicks. The Lakers are going to Toronto to get beat. The Trailblazers are playing the thriving, and my pick to win the whole thing, the Brooklyn Nets. The Nuggets are going against the Cavaliers, the Thunder and Heat are at 8 p.m. The Pacers and the Rockets also at 8. At 8:30, the Pelicans against the Spurs. Full night tonight. The Clippers against the Jazz at 9 Eastern. And at 10, the Celtics and the Kings. In the NHL, the Capitals will be going against the Hurricanes. And that's our look at crazy mixed up world of sports. Baseball, man, looking good. Spring training. Yesterday, Cubs Sox had a split session, split squad. Sox won both games. I'm not going to do that all the time this summer. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be real cool, but that is good. On this date in 1909, we were all there. Eleanor Dessau of Denmark used a shortwave transmitter to converse with a government radio post in what's believed to be the first ham radio broadcast. I was there. And in 2009, actress Natasha Richardson dies after her fall while skiing in Quebec at age 45. Husband Liam Neeson was filming a movie in Canada. Born on this date, Jerry Cantrell from the group Alice in Chains.
I love
Alice
in Chains. Out of all those 90s bands, that were up in the Pacific Northwest, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, I feel like is underrated because people talk about Pearl Jam and Nirvana and Soundgarden so much, but man, Alice in Chains gets me going.
They were a very, very good band. Still are. Good band.
Yeah.
Singer, actress, and the love of my life, Queen Latifah, turned 52 today. I love Queen. Man, I love me some Dana.
She's great.
Yes, she is. Bless her heart. Singer Adam Levine from Maroon 5 is 43. In this date in music history in 1991, and a move that is still troubling, even though this man is dead now, rest in peace. Eazy-E attended a luncheon at President Bush's invitation. Still don't know what that was all about. Both men are dead now. Donna Summer receives a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1992, And in 1994, singer Kurt Cobain has 4 guns and 25 boxes of ammo confiscated after his wife Courtney Love calls police fearing he would commit suicide. And 3 weeks later, he committed suicide. Wow. There you go. Hey, man, I'll lay a couple of did you knows on you real quick. These are always good. Did you know? And I haven't read any of them because it's wild in here this afternoon. A recent study found couples who have brothers and sisters are more likely to have happier marriages. All right. West Virginia, Illinois, and Mississippi have all lost population in the last decade. Oh, yes, that is true. When lightning strikes, it can reach up to 30,000 degrees Celsius. That's hot. It sounds hotter when you say 54,000 degrees.
Yeah, I don't want to be near that.
No. 70% of women think that men over the age of 35 look ridiculous when they wear their hat backwards. I'm not doing it. According to a recent survey, the average parent has 15 minutes of free time daily. Mr. Gliss, you are a parent. Is that a fact? Besides the 2 hours here.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. They always find you.
You know what, man? That is a fact. That's why bathrooms have locks on them.
Always. Yeah. Oh, and they'll still try to get in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, they will. They demand. Like, you sure you want to be in here at this moment? Come on in, man.
Like, okay, we can deal with that in 2 minutes.
You can just wait and let me finish up here. I'll gladly let you in because your reaction is going to be fantastic. A survey says that 41% of people have changed their political or social views because of social media. I can believe that. Men are 5 times more likely to get struck by lightning. The 3 most and it's raining in Chicago as we speak too. The 3 most common languages in the world are Mandarin, Chinese, Spanish, and English. Once you hit 80, you will live longer if you have a job. I will probably have a job when I'm 80. Well, my job will be, I'll be doing voiceovers for like cigarettes and chicken and dumb stuff like that. All right, when we come back, we're going to have a story that you can take with you to your friend's house over the weekend for the backyard barbecue in the warmer parts of our country, or to talk on the phone with somebody you haven't talked to in a while. It's front of mind, and it's coming up next on The Drive with Mario Smith. It's the last break. We'll be back right after these words. First, before we do this, Livia, thank you. This is your first time here in Mississippi. Peace. Thank you very much. Unused Caterpillar in Louisiana. Thank you. Unique Mule in Wisconsin. Thank you as well. Emmett, thank you for joining the stream. Fanatical Porcupine. Thanks. Lola, appreciate you. Scary Lion. Thanks a lot. Everybody, while you're on backchannel.tv, or if you're on YouTube even, leave a review of the show. We'd appreciate that. And thank you so much for watching. A World War II bomber jacket left behind at a Washington restaurant in the early 1950s was returned to the daughter of its original owner more than 60 years later. Pat Nesbitt said he was 5 years old and undergoing treatment for polio when his uncle gave him the leather bomber jacket he found abandoned at a Tacoma restaurant. Nesbitt said that from age 10 to 18, when he wore the jacket, he felt like he had superpowers. He was told the owner did 40 missions in that World War II bomber jacket, even though most people could come back after 25. This guy was a superhero, and this is a jacket a superhero would wear. He said he kept it oiled and in good condition over the years, replacing the cuffs and the zipper. Using Ancestry.com, he located the daughter who had lost her father at age 14. She said it was silly but when she received the jacket, she felt like she was welcoming her father home. That's nice. One of my favorite players with one of the best names in the league, Bismack Biyombo, returning to the NBA after a year as a free agent, has announced he will donate the entire $1.3 million value of his contract to the construction of a hospital in his home in the Congo. Taking last season off to care for his sick father who passed away in August of 2021, Biyombo said he became aware of just how fortunate he was simply to be able to bring his father to the hospital. The announcement was made last Friday, 2 months after Biyombo signed a one-year contract with the Phoenix Suns. Bismack Biyombo. I love that guy. That's a cool story. Right on, Bismack Biyombo. All right, as we wrap this all up, it's been an interesting week. We thank you all for joining us. I'm not ending the show yet. I just want to get it out the way because I'm telling you, it's Friday. When that clock hits it, me and Gliss are gone. It's poof.
Especially on Friday.
Oh, Friday's like we're running. Matter of fact, you can't see my feet. I know people think I only have like from the waist up, but I have feet and they're ready to run.
I am too.
Oh, buddy.
I'm gonna run through the wall.
You know what? I'm gonna make myself one of those fake walls and run through it at the end of each show moving forward.
There you go.
Can you imagine the email? Mario, why are you doing that? Why are you running through a paper wall every show? That would be funny. Like the Kool-Aid man. Like, oh yeah, just bust through and run off. These are some awkward moments. We all find ourselves in awkward situations from time to time. Here's some scenarios that are just universally awkward for everyone. Like, what the heck are you supposed to do when everyone is singing happy birthday to you?
That is true. I do feel that. That is awkward.
Because you're silent. You're like,
it's like everyone's looking at you, serenading you with this ridiculous song that you hear. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Why does this part of bowling always feels like the walk of shame?
That one actually made me laugh because I totally agree. Like, it's always super awkward once you throw the ball down and you turn around and then it's like you're on display, like whether either you nailed it or you embarrassed yourself. Yeah.
Look at me, everybody. And or if you get a gutter ball, it's like, oh man, everybody's looking at me.
Yeah. Then you have to come up with something to say, some excuse or
hey, why is it so awkward walking to the car that someone is picking you up in? Why is it so awkward when someone drops you off and they wait for you to get into the house and you're struggling to unlock the door every time? This happens every time. Every time. How do you deal with the 7 seconds of hell at the end of a Zoom call? Okay, that's real. So the Zoom call is going, and it's like, all right, everybody, well, thank you. True. We really appreciate it. All right, bye, everybody. Okay, bye. Bye. Okay, bye. Oh my God.
Trying to click the button and then it asks you again to make sure you want to exit.
Are you sure you want to exit? Yes, I'm trying to say goodbye. On the intense pressure to keep the line moving at the supermarket. That is awkward. What exactly are you supposed to do when your dentist tries to talk to you while their fingers are in your mouth? That's a good one. Watching a sex scene with your parents.
Yeah.
In a movie.
Remember that when I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is a 20-second elevator ride somehow worse than a 20-minute Uber ride?
That's so true.
Yeah. Imagine having the courage to ask your waiter for a refill. That's just doing it every time. That's not awkward at all.
That. I don't care about that.
More water, garçon. Can I get more beer? Can I get more water, please? Can I get another
goblet? What are you there for?
Right. Can I get another carafe of your most
I'm going to tip them
drink?
afterwards.
And I'm going to tip you. And I'm going to tell you how cool you are. And I'm coming back. Yeah, it's easy. Whether it's the first day of school or a company meeting, introductions are always awkward. I don't have a problem with that.
Me either.
They are awkward, but I'm like, if you heard the way people like introduce me to other people,
it's more just like, there's an awkwardness to getting to know someone, but it's not. It's just because you don't know them yet.
Yeah, I can think of worse things. How does one walk up a hill without making a public spectacle of themselves? That's a good one. Or go on a first date without letting it slip that you've already looked up everything about them on Facebook, and those are awkward moments. A couple of news stories and then we're out. A man visiting Florida spent the night in what he thought was an Airbnb, only to discover the next morning that he had slept in the wrong house. He had traveled to Miami, Florida, you never disappoint, to officiate a friend's wedding and arrived at what he thought was his Airbnb at 2 a.m. Everything appeared to be in order when he arrived to the unlocked door of the home. He even found 2 folded towels waiting for him on the freshly made bed. However, in the morning, he was awoken to a knock at the door. Standing at the doorstep was the patient and accommodating homeowner who was as confused as the traveler. It turned out that after staying at over 100 different Airbnb homes, the traveler had typed the address into his map app incorrectly. His Airbnb was actually next door.
Now that's awkward.
Ooh,
Talk about awkward.
That could have
Like,
been.
I just slept here.
Man, that could have been a different story.
Yeah, that could have been bad.
Super bad. That guy was almost in trouble. And I was going to add this today, and I'm glad that you put this. Is interesting to me because you got to be some kind of weirdo to just go for this and without some kind of, imagine buying a car with no steering wheel. It could happen in the near future. The U.S. Department of Transportation's National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has been a very active voice for autonomous driving capabilities and holding companies accountable when said systems fail. The administration has now revealed a new rule that it has passed, which will directly affect future cars with autonomous capabilities. But this time, it isn't exactly a new restriction. The new rule clarifies that with a car that is fully capable of driving without human intervention, manufacturers are not required to install a steering system or other conventional controls such as pedals and gear selectors. Look, if I'm in a car that's one of those self-driving cars, it better have a steering wheel because if there's a malfunction, I need to be able to grab the wheel. What are we doing? What are you wrong? What? That's crazy. That's a great way to end the weekend. Stupid has joined the stream. I didn't say that. This is the guy's name. Satisfying Pigeon, Mock D, Livia, and Stupid's here in America. You think? Hey man, it's been a great week. Ready for more on Monday, my brother. I'll see you then.
Me too. Have a good weekend.
Right on, man. You too.
All right, see ya.
Everybody that's joined us on Backchannel today, participating in our Alias game, thank you so much. Really appreciate all of you, and we hope that you all have a great weekend too. Gary T, my man Michael Lockett, everybody, thanks so much. Or Fat Panda, thank you. We are gone. That's it for us until Monday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time with Haley and Allison. You can join Backchannel TV then. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. On a cloudy day in Chicago, Illinois, cloudy and rainy as the sun begins to make its descent into the west. My name is Mario Smith. On behalf of everybody at Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices, thank you so much for checking out The Drive with Mario Smith. We will be back Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Peace.